Her specific person told her that she was a blessing in her life. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. Happy Saturday, even though I don't know what day you're watching this. I just wanted to come on. This is going to be a short and sweet video. When I talk about detaching, when you're triggered, detach this from your specific person and then go within and do blah, blah, blah. A lot of times you guys will comment. And recently I've seen a good number of comments asking, do you mean detach from my person? What do you mean when you say detach? All that stuff. So I'm going to give you an example of how when something triggers you with your specific person, what it means to detach it from them. And then when you actually deactivate that little thing that's inside of you that you believe, you are believing, you're under the illusion that this circumstance that came up with your person that brought the emotion up, you believe that this is solid and real, but in all actuality, it's being brought up to the surface because it's this thing that you need to release and let go of and not project it onto your person anymore because you didn't realize that you were unintentionally doing that. So I'm going to use just a real life example of something that I've talked about in a previous video before a couple of years ago, so I know it's safe to talk about. If you're new to my channel and if you love me, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want me to be your coach to help you manifest any kind of transformation with your specific person or anything else in your life for that matters, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to the website, coreunion.com, book whatever you want. My scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you with my next available session. So this video today, I'm going to talk about an example of what I mean when I say detach this from your specific person, and then you can do these things to deactivate whatever it was that they were mirroring back to you. And then what will happen is they probably won't do that thing anymore. But then the other side of it, if they do, it just won't affect you anymore. So something is said or done and there's an emotional charge, but then you stop projecting it onto them because you realize you were projecting your stuff onto them unconsciously. And so as soon as you inactivate that, then that little part of you won't need to kind of trigger you anymore to say, hey, look at this. You need to let this go because you can't believe this and expect this if you want a healthy relationship. These two things, it just doesn't mix. Okay. I'm also going to talk about, which is completely unrelated, but I know you guys love to hear some success that clients have. So I'm going to talk a little bit also at the end of the video with some movement, very short and sweet movement that one of my clients just reported to me yesterday during our session. I think it was just super cute and adorable, something that her SP gave to her as a birthday gift, and it is just incredibly, I think it's wonderful. So anyway, let me just talk about this. So talked about this again a couple of years ago. My mirror soul is a gamer. And when I say a gamer, I mean expert level. They build characters. They have some characters that they've been building for like over 10 years. So as I've explained before in videos, your specific person is reflecting back to you the things that trigger you are things that were programmed back into you with your caretakers from when you were growing up. That doesn't mean that you're a lost case and that you're broken and you can't be happy. All it means is that you stop blaming your person for the things that are your baggage, even if it appears that they are doing it to you. That is your perception. That is your stuff. It's your unconscious manifestation. So you need to own that. My father loved gaming. He was into games. He had an office and he was always playing his games. Those were the most impressionable moments growing up when I needed to talk to him or needed something where he would shut me down and it would be very painful. So those were like the impressionable moments where I felt rejected, abandoned, not seen, not heard. So just kind of discarded. So now fast forward, getting to know my mirror soul, I end up learning it was well over past a year and a half. I ended up learning that they loved gaming and I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's cool. So then as we were getting closer, if there were times when maybe I wanted to watch a movie or do something, if they said, you know what, I'm actually going to I'm just really in the mood to do some gaming tonight, I would automatically feel these feelings that were brought up, that the feelings that were brought up were related to when I was a kid. There was nothing wrong with my Marisol wanting to play games. When it came up and I realized what I was feeling, my job was to detach it from them and recognize this is coming from that, from when I was growing up. So detaching it means that whether my Marisol, no matter what they said or did, when I felt rejected and not important or not a priority because they wanted to play games, it was my job to detach it from them, go within, let myself cry, comfort myself through that, tell myself I am worthy, I'm chosen, I'm adored, I'm seen, I'm heard, I'm always a priority. In the moments when you're in a trigger, if you are in fear, if you are in a trigger, you are believing in separation. If you are believing in separation, then you are also separate from your inner God, universe, source, divine intelligence. It's really that simple. So when you're feeling these emotional pains, just give yourself love through it. Affirm that you are chosen, you are a priority, you are seen and heard. This is not the time to be affirming for things specifically about your mirror soul or your specific person. I know that they love me. This is contributing for us. Fine. But now you need to give yourself some compassion and not just try to reject yourself again. Take a moment to give yourself love, cry, express the anger, express the pain, but don't express it at your person because it doesn't belong to your person. It belongs to your mother, father, or caretaker from when you were growing up. So give yourself the opportunity to express the anger to them. After you give yourself love, you surrender as if God is outside of you, because in the moment you are believing in separation. So you can just say, this isn't mine. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for making me whole and complete. And then you can just go back and do a little revision to, like for me, what I did is I went back and I did a little revision and I imagined myself in my father's office. I imagined it the way it happened. And then I imagined myself speaking up and telling him how he's making me feel while I was crying in the bed as the, 50 some odd year old woman. I'll be 54 this July, by the way. But I was energetically, I was like 5 years old and I was saying the things that I wish that I had said back then, that I didn't give myself the voice, because as children, we put ourselves in a very threatening position, whether our caretakers are verbally, emotionally just neglecting us, or we're perceiving it, or even if they're physically harming us. We can't blame them, because when we do that as children, we are putting ourselves in such a dangerous position, because these people we know are our protectors. So when our protectors are putting us in danger, who do we have to blame? Because if we blame them, we're really putting ourselves in harm's way, right? As children, this is how things are happening. We have to put the blame on ourselves. And so now you're carrying that, right? And I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, but I just understand this. And then you give yourself love and you imagine that your caretaker is seeing the harm that they're causing you, realizing that they're wrong and that they come to you, they hold you, and imagine that they tell you that they're sorry and they beg you for forgiveness. And then imagine that you, as a little 4 or 5-year-old, imagine that you do forgive them. That's an example of what I did. And then what ended up happening is I ended up absolutely loving how creative and talented Hannah is with gaming. And I appreciated it so much. And I actually got joy if I knew that they were playing and that they were kicking butt and they were reaching new levels and creating new characters. Even taking it a step further, one of my favorite things to visualize is when we're in our home together and having, our own space to do our thing, and then having shared space and all of that. One of the things that I love, I'm visualizing all of the things, right? All of the areas. Then specifically as it relates to gaming and them, I love imagining like I'm in the kitchen and I can hear the laughter. I can hear them say little things here and there because they're like really kicking butt and they're excited. And I imagine myself going in the room and seeing them happy with the giant screen and the playing, and I walk in and I give them a kiss. That scene brings me so much joy. It's deactivated now. There isn't that little part of me that feels discarded because they're gaming. There might be more than one thing that comes up, and it's okay if it does. It's not a big deal. When it does, you just recognize, do the same thing, same process over and again, over again. I'm not suggesting that you go and do deep shadow work and ongoing inner child work. You don't need to. You only need to do it when your 3D is reflecting back to you through all of your divine messengers, because your entire reality is you. Your entire reality is a simulation. It's a grand theater. It's a play. And all of the people have divine roles in your life, and they're all showing you different aspects of you. Okay. So now I just want to share this cute little story with my client. She said that with work, everything is improved. She's getting a ton of recognition and appreciation. She has this feeling of always being in the right place at the right time. So she is in flow. One of her dreams, all of her life, like one of her things on her bucket list was that on one of her birthdays, she wanted to celebrate at the top of the Eiffel Tower. She's been getting closer and closer with her specific person. She said that the bonding is getting deeper and deeper. Her specific person told her that she was a blessing in her life and that she loved her. When my client was saying that, she said, but still in a platonic way. And I said, no, catch that. That you have to catch that. No, it's not in a platonic way. She loves you. She told you she loves you, and she's in love with you. Her specific person treated her to the trip, to the experience in Paris to be on top of the Eiffel Tower for her birthday. If that's not a over the top, ridiculous, massive proof of that her manifestation is working and that she's in this amazing unfolding of it, I don't know what is. Okay. So please do affirm down below that you know that you and your true love are meant to be together, created for each other, and that your love together is magical. And reach out to me if you need me. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. I hope this video helped. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.